The last video ended a little abruptly, so let's go ahead and do a quick action and then do a batch for that action. So I've created a folder called Action Demo, and inside of Action Demo I have just a pile of images. I'm going to create another folder inside of here, and I'm going to call this one Original, so I don't mix them up. And I'm going to create move all those files over there, then create another folder and call it Small. All right, so we're going to make a new document. It doesn't matter too much about it. We'll just make it a 6x6, tell it OK. And we're going to go ahead and resize it. But we're going to resize it as an action, or create an action as we resize it, I should say. Then we're going to do a batch process on this folder of actions, folder of images, original, and resize them to smaller images. This is something that I've had to do a lot over the years, and so let me just show you how that works. Before I make a new action, let me make a new set. We'll call this Demo Set, and we'll make a new action. We'll call it resize to 3 inches at 72 ppi. And again, we're not going to set a function key. We can always do that later if we need to, or make a shell and load a function key in that way. Let's record. I'm just going to go to image size, and oh, you know what? Let's cancel. Let's do one more thing. Stop that. Before we do that, let me make a new layer. And now I will record. And what I will do is this. I will flatten everything by going flatten image. Then I will go to image size, and I will set it to 3 inches by, just 3 inches at 72. We'll do a resample, tell it OK. All right, and then I'm going to save as. And I've got a framed image in here. No, what we want to do is just go to Action Demo real quick, set it as a JPEG, and call it something. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Okay, and save as a copy. Yeah. All right, and then full size, tell it OK. All right, stop it. Now, the reason I included that was so when we do the batch process, we can just have it, save it there. All right. Close this up since we don't need it anymore. I'm going to go to File, Automate, Batch. I'm going to go ahead and choose the demo set, resize to 3 inches, set it to folder, and I'm going to go to the original folder and tell it select folder. So now we have our source of files. I'm going to suppress file open options dialog, and I'm going to suppress color profile warnings. We shouldn't have any, but I don't want to see them. Let's choose a folder, and we're going to go to the actions demo, small, and we'll select that. Now that we've got that selected, I'm just going to call it example, and actually we can add in anything we want. So I could, for example, add in, instead of the extension, I could make it the date, and then I could have the extension. And so this will be example, which is just something I typed in. You can type in anything you want, like small example. And then we'll do 1-digit serial number and the date, and then the extension. And you do want the extension because that will be like .jpeg or whatever you want that in there. I'm overriding the save as command. So let me uncheck it and check it back on. When this option is on, files will be saved to the destination folder only by save as step in the actions. If there are no save or save as steps, no files will be saved. But that's fine because we saved it. We've got it in there. I'll start the serial number at 1, so we'll just count up 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. Compatibility for Windows, Macintosh, Unix, we'll just do Windows. Tell it OK. Boom, 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 boom. And it just goes through all those. Now, if we go back to Action Demo, we have the original, which still has all of our unedited files. You can see this one's quite large. And if we go into small, you can see now we have small ones that say small example 1. I forgot to put a space after that. So that would have been good, is to put a space between each of those things. So it would make some sense in there, but they are indeed small. And if we were to drag one over, we would see image size, that they are 3 inches wide, which is something I should have stated, resize to 3 inches. All right, there you have it. That's batch processing. And what I meant by should have added a space, it would be this, automate batch between each of these. So I have a small example, space, serial number, space, then the date, and then the extension. Now, if I were to do this with all the same settings, we will end up with those spaces. So it goes small example, space 1, then the date, small example, space 2, and then the date, etc., etc., etc. We still have the originals since the names were different, so I'd have to go in and clean them up. But that's batch processing, and it's very, very useful. If I hadn't overridden the save, I would want to deactivate the save step on here instead and then go through it. So a lot of times I've had to resize things according to a specific resolution, no wider than, that sort of thing. And that's batch processing. Now, if you have something that you've done, such as the resize or perhaps an RGB to grayscale. Now let's do the resize. Let's say that we like this resize. Right? Everything's good. What we could do is create a droplet by going to File, Automate, Create Droplet. And you choose where you want the droplet to be. I'll just put it here in the actions demo. You select what you want it to have. You can suppress things or whatever. Destination, I'm just going to do none. And we'll go ahead and set it and tell it okay. We could also save and close. Let's actually do that. All right. So watch out for droplets because they could mess up your stuff. So I'm going to make a copy of, say, this. Oh, this. Go back, paste it down. All right. So this is a droplet. And I'm going to call this make the image small droplet. And all a droplet does is allow you to drag an image onto the droplet, and then it will run the process, and that's it. Except I forgot to double check that my version of Photoshop was up to date, because I do have a slight glitch that does a few things, such as make the droplets not communicate. So sorry about that. I won't be able to demo the final step, but all you would do on a working version of Photoshop is just drag your image, release on the droplet, and it would open with the Adobe Droplet, and it would make it smaller, overwrite your original file, and you're done. So droplets are an easy way to hand off to other people who have the same version of Photoshop, as long as they aren't suffering from the same glitch that I'm currently suffering from, which would require me to do an update or a downgrade, but the specific version I'm on will not allow me to. So you guys should be fine if you have the most recent version of Photoshop. If you're stuck on a slightly older one like me, then you could have some glitches. And that's about it. Okay, let's move on to contact sheets. And if you've been skipping ahead and you just came back now to watch these videos after completing the assignment, thank you for coming back. I believe actions are very worthwhile and absolutely worth understanding and mastering. See you next video.